Good morning, friends, and greetings, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 32 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system, it is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. And if you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we are here for you. We want to be your go-to resource for all things health and nutrition. 844-236-6010 is our phone number on The Bright Side, 844-236-6010. If you have questions about the longevity products, the longevity business, health challenges you or a loved one may be dealing with, if you have a comment or success story you'd like to share, 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. Of course, if you want to purchase longevity products, head to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. That's brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can call 866-735-2470 as well if you want to talk to a real live person. 866-735-2470. Make sure you ask about joining the Bright Side Ben team for a one-time $25 fee. You can be in business for yourself. You can help spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program, work out of your home. If you're an entrepreneur, it's an ideal business opportunity, especially if you're an entrepreneur who appreciates health, good health, the nutrition business, which is an awesome business to be in. It's a win-win business where you make money and you help people at the same time. If that sounds interesting to you, for a one-time $25 fee, you can be a distributor. You can join the Bright Side Ben team. I can help you build your business. Call 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470 for more information, or click on the Join the Team link at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. All right, welcome back to The Bright Side. We have been spending time the last couple of weeks talking about electricity in the body, the nature of electricity in the body, the nature of enzymes. We talked about enzymes as being the carriers of the life force, carriers, the essence of life. Electricity and enzymes have a lot in common. Enzymes work by facilitating electrical energy. Electrical energy is the fundamental way life shows up. There's a lot of there's a serious relationship between God and electromagnetism. It says in the Bible, God is light. Light is a form of electromagnetism, electricity. Electricity and God have a lot in common. Electricity is everywhere. God is everywhere. Electricity is, there's no area in the known universe where there's no electricity, and that's the definition of God. It says in the Bible, don't mean to get all biblical here, but the Bible's kind of cool. There's a lot of good stuff in there. It says, in God we live and move and have our being, and that same could be said about electricity, electromagnetism. In electricity and electromagnetism, they're the same thing. In electricity / electromagnetism, we live and move and have our being. That makes it really important. Disease at the end of the day is electromagnetic. Health is electromagnetic, and disease and health is also enzymatic. If electromagnetism is the first place life shows up or livingness shows up, enzymes are the first place chemical life shows up. Enzymes are the initiators of chemical life. They are the essence of chemical life. They're the essence of biochemistry. We hear a lot about enzymes when it comes to the digestive system. Pretty much everybody listening to this program probably has heard of digestive enzymes. But not as often we hear about enzymes as the carrier of livingness, the biochemical carrier of the life force, the mediators of this inevitable something that brings the body to life. Enzymes are the link between the abstract information that is coded in our genetics and the biochemistry of the body. Between the abstract information in the genetics, which is not really life yet, it's codes for life, it's the blueprint for life, but it's not life yet, and life itself, you've got the enzymes. They bridge. Rudolf Steiner, the spiritual philosopher, Rudolf Steiner, said that enzymes are the bridge between the physical and the spiritual world. And from a strictly scientific perspective, you don't need to use the word spiritual. From a strictly scientific perspective, enzymes are the link between abstract information in the genetics, in the genes, and biochemistry, and how biology shows up. Enzymes are reusable. They can do their work, which is basically making chemistry happen, and then go off and fight another battle. And they work, by the way, at absolutely incomprehensible speeds. Do you know there are processes, enzymatic processes that can occur at a rate of 2 million chemical reactions a minute? What? 2 million chemical reactions a minute. This is unbelievable, and it can only work if there was an electromagnetic basis. It couldn't be just chemistry that could work at that kind of speed. That is unbelievable. And you have trillions upon trillions upon trillions upon trillions. There's no way to even comprehend the numbers. It's got to be in awe of this whole system. And by the way, awe is a pretty powerful emotion. I hope by this program that one of the things we do is instill awe at the biochemistry, the biochemical processes that occur right underneath our noses. That's what I really want to do with this program, is inspire awe. And awe is not some kind of airy-fairy emotion. Awe is actually linked to good health. The emotion called awe is being studied now by psychological researchers, and what they're finding is that there is a powerful relationship between the biology and the psychology of the body and the emotion that is called awe. I was just watching a YouTube video by this gal whose name escapes me. What the heck was her name? I don't remember her name. I'll try and find out. And just Google awe. Just do YouTubes on awe, and you'll find a lot of them about the psychology of awe, the benefits of awe, 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 as an awesome or also as an awful. Anyway, the biology of the body, if you want to experience awe, the biology of the body is a good place to start. 2 million chemical reactions a minute. This is mind-boggling. Enzymes transform old molecules to become new molecules. They build molecules. They help clear out molecules. There's detoxification enzymes in the detoxification system of the body. When enzyme levels in organisms start to drop, we age. Aging is about enzymes. Death is about enzymes. When enzyme activity ceases, when enzyme levels fall beneath a certain level, or when enzyme activity falls beneath a certain level, we die. And it doesn't happen right away. We age first and then we die. Enzyme levels start to drop. Do you think supporting enzyme activity is important? Heck yes. And here's the good news. Enzymes, by our lifestyle choices, can be induced to perform better. We can live our lives in a way that can help our enzymes work. We can live our lives in a way that can build up our enzyme levels. In fact, pretty much all of the strategies that we talk about on the bright side, all of the health strategies that we talk about on this radio program are really about enzyme activity, even if we haven't said that. All the fourfold square of health, which is the main strategies, the 4 strategies for physical well-being, are really about enzyme activity. You can call the fourfold square of health the fourfold square of improving enzyme activity. Health is enzymatic. Improving health is enzymatic. Nutriate, respirate, move, and rest. It's the fourfold square of health, and each one of those is about enzyme activity. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back after this. right, we are back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, and 24/7 on the archive pages at brightsideben.com. Also, criticalhealthnews.com and pharmacistben.com if you want to purchase longevity products, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com, or have news stories, blog posts, as well as the longevity products, videos, all free information, great information if I do say so myself. I just finished up a video with my buddy Jonty. We talked about enzymes. No surprise there. We've been talking about enzymes on this program now for a few weeks. Enzymes and electricity and awe. I like these topics, these health topics that you don't hear a lot about. You don't hear a lot about electricity, bioelectricity on health programs. You don't hear a lot about enzymes on health programs. You certainly don't hear anything about awe on health programs. By the way, that gal's name is Michelle Sciota, S-H-I-O-T-A, that I was telling you about the last segment. Michelle Sciota is an awe researcher, and she has a great video on the art and science of awe. Albert Einstein said, "He who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe is as good as dead." That's a quote from Albert Einstein. He said one of the most, I don't remember the exact quote, but he said one of the most important senses that human beings have is a sense of the mystical. And this is really, we lose track of that in our fear-based culture. We lose track of the mystical nature of the body, the mystical nature of health. Forget religion. I'm not talking about religion. Forget Christianity or Hinduism or Judaism or whatever the name of your religion is. Let's just talk mysticism. The idea that there is some ineffable force that runs the body. There's some ineffable force that, ineffable meaning unnameable force that runs the body. Unnameable force that is behind the chemistry. How can you have 2,000 chemical reactions in a minute? How can this possibly be? 2,000 chemical reactions a minute. And you say, okay, well, electromagnetics, right? Well, yeah, okay, that could happen. That's fast. But first of all, what the heck is electromagnetics? Let's leave that aside. Remember, these 2,000 reactions a minute are happening intelligently. They're happening in a responsive fashion. It's not just happening randomly. They're happening intelligently in response to other things that are going on inside the body. The intelligence built into the body and the electrical nature of the body is something that has to be appreciated with another type of sense to really, really, really feel it. Has to be sensed, not known, not understood. That's why if you've ever stood next to a redwood tree, you get this sense of just, you can't even explain it. This sense of reverence, this sense of wonder. Awe and wonder, by the way, are very similar emotions. And they both have very similar health benefits. They lower your cortisol. There's something called forest bathing. I was just reading a book, or didn't read it, I just saw this book at the bookstore. It was about Japanese art of forest bathing. And I forgot what it's called, but it turns out that just sitting in a forest, it's called forest bathing, but basically it's just sitting under a tree. Sitting under a tree is a powerful way to lower your blood pressure. And in the future, that's the kind of medicine we're going to have. The doctor will write a prescription for a tree, or at least for sitting under one. I forgot the name of this book about forest bathing. Anyway, the fourfold square of health could be thought of as the fourfold square of enzyme health. The fourfold square of improving enzyme activity. We nutriate to improve enzyme activity. We move to, or we respirate to improve enzyme activity. And inhalation and exhalation support enzymatic activity at the level of energy production. We move our bodies to improve enzymatic activity, and we rest to improve enzymatic activity. Nutrition, respiration, movement, and rest. By the way, there's a sweet spot between movement and rest. You have to just so much movement and just so much rest. There's a sweet spot, a Goldilocks spot, a just right spot between movement and rest for maximizing enzyme activity. In general, health is about enzymes, the mediating molecules between how we live our lives and how our bodies show up. How we live our lives can be is coded into the body's structure, into the body's chemistry, and it's coded into the body's chemistry and into the body's structure via enzymes. When I say coded, I mean you can look at the body, how it's structured, and you can look at the body via its chemistry, Chemistry speaks to us by symptoms, and you can read how our lives are being led in terms of nutriating, movement, inhalation, exhalation, respiration, movement, and rest. Not to mention the spiritual and the mental and emotional aspects, which are also extremely important. All of this is to say that anything we can do to improve enzyme activity in the body is going to make us feel better. Anything we can do to improve enzyme activity in the body is going to improve our health. It's going to increase our longevity. It's going to increase our quality of life. And there's lots of ways to do it. The simplest thing we can do is eat enzymes, ingest enzymes. Digestive enzymes will do it. In this way, Youngevity's digestive enzymes are among the most important supplements you could ever take. They're not essential, like vitamins and minerals, which, by the way, many of these vitamins and minerals work via the enzymes. They're not essential. You can get by without them. You're not going to drop dead without them, but you're not going to be able to live your life. You're not going to live your life maximally if you're enzyme deficient. And one of the best ways to support your enzyme levels is to take them, digestive enzymes. They used to tell you, when I was in pharmacy school, they used to tell us that the stomach would destroy enzymes. Don't waste your money. Can't get enzymes supplementally. Horse hockey, that's not true. We know good and well that enzymes pass through the intestinal lining. They go into the blood. That's why they're used as medicine in Europe and in Japan. It's not difficult for them to make it into the bloodstream. You can also eat enzyme-rich foods, which, of course, very few of us do. Enzyme-rich foods are found in foods that had the life force in them at one time and have been kept, stored or kept as pristine as possible. Once you cook a food, its enzymes begin to become degraded. So raw eggs, for example, are enzyme-rich. Soft-boiled eggs or poached eggs will maintain more enzyme activity than hard-boiled eggs. Steak tartare is going to have more enzyme activity. Once you cook meat, you lose the enzyme activity. This is why raw meat is so powerful. It's such a powerful source of nutrition. When some of the most powerful animals in the world eat raw meat, enzyme-rich meat, lions and tigers and bears. And if you're a vegetarian out there and you're going to tell me about elephants, which vegetarians do, or gorillas, that's true, but gorillas and elephants have other mechanisms for getting energy from grass that we don't have. So you can't compare human beings to animals that can derive energy from grass. We don't have the enzymes to break down grass. In fact, many people have a problem eating vegetables because they don't make an enzyme called cellulase, or they don't make it as efficiently. Cellulase, you can always tell an enzyme by the ending ACE, A-S-E. Cellulase is an enzyme that breaks down cellulose. A lot of people don't make enough cellulase, and they'll have problems with lettuce, or they'll have problems with celery. That's why I always say you can't just go by, I'm gluten, I just don't eat gluten. You can have a problem digesting any kind of food. Anyway, enzymes are important. Take in enzymes through digestive enzyme supplements. Eat enzyme-rich food. These are all ways to support enzyme biochemistry. There's lots more. We'll continue our discussion on enzymes and bioelectricity as well. I haven't forgotten we're talking about that too. When we come back on the bright side, also your phone calls, 844-236-6010. All right, we're back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben, and we got lines open for you at 844-236-6010. If you want to talk about anything we're speaking about here today, if you're into any of these abstract ideas, love to hear from you. I don't like just being Mr. Vitamin guy, Mr. Nutrition guy. Nutrition is awesome. It's a great way to work with the health of the body. Nutritional deficiencies certainly are behind many of our health challenges, but at the end of the day, it's the more abstract ideas that really drive how healthy or how unhealthy we are, not just the vitamins. I can't tell you how many times somebody's told me about all the supplements they're taking and all the dietary strategies they're using, and they're still sick. If you are still sick after taking a lot of supplements, if you're taking all your supplements correctly and you're eating correctly and you're exercising and you're still sick, the chances are pretty darn good that you're dealing with something more abstract. Your health challenges are due to something more abstract, and make no mistake about it. Things like emotions and mentality, and the more the more airy-fairy kinds of ideas when it comes to health, new age ideas when it comes to health, including spirituality, are huge. They play a huge role in how healthy or how unhealthy our bodies will be. It's not just about nutrition. It's not just about food, as important as that is. I've been reading this book here. I've been reading it for years, actually, but really getting into it the last few months, called Electromagnetism and the Sacred. And this is written by a guy who is a research professor in nuclear physics, Lawrence W. Fagg. He holds a PhD in physics from Johns Hopkins University and a master's degree in religion from George Washington University. How's that for a combination? Got a master's in religion and a PhD in physics. He really gets into this idea of comparing God to electromagnetics, which I think is 100% right on. From his book, Electromagnetism and the Sacred, quote, he's comparing God to electromagnetism. First, quote, first they both share in the property of ubiquity. Both are all pervasive in the world. Second, they have analogous ranges of intensity from the most subtle and sensitive of experiences and perceptions to the most powerful and awesome. And third, because light, that's electromagnetism, is so often used as a sign, symbol, or metaphor for God's presence, just as God's light extends far beyond what we can sense, so analogously, the spectrum of electromagnetic radiation extends far beyond what is visible. Fourth, just as the speed of electromagnetic radiation is constant, so is the abiding internal constancy of God's light. Now, you don't have to be all religious or theological to appreciate this. You can just be a scientist. Electromagnetism and God are two awesome concepts because of their immense and unspeakable power, A, and power to life, B. Not only just pure power, but power to bring us to life and ultimately bring us to health. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Got lines open for you on the bright side. I want to read a couple stories here, and then I will get to your phone calls. And we do have lines open, 844-236-6010. From the BBC, Big Pharma suppresses the evidence on dangerous or useless drugs. Pharmaceutical companies are deliberately misleading health agencies and governments by suppressing research that reveals a drug doesn't work or is dangerous. At least half of all medical trials are never published. In one example, governments were hoodwinked into stockpiling the Tamiflu vaccine, the flu vaccine, by demonstrating just a couple of studies without showing other studies, that is, the vast majority of studies that showed that Tamiflu did not prevent complications after someone had the flu, and that did not prevent the flu. In other words, they cherry pick. That's what we call cherry picking. You find the studies that show what you want to show, and you suppress the ones that demonstrate things you don't want anybody to see. That's called cherry picking, and that's why I pay no attention to epidemiological studies where they just talk to people, or they have markers that they test. They show what happens to their blood pressure after they eat a bunch of food or take a specific drug or formula. These medical trials, and periodically somebody will say, well, do you have any medical trials to show? Do you have any clinical trials to show this? Clinical trials are baloney. You need to understand biochemistry. If you understand biochemistry, you don't need clinical trials. If you understand how the body works, you don't need to have a study or a clinical trial to assess the value of something. If you have a little common sense, even. You can do all the clinical trials you want on statin drugs, but if you have a little common sense, you'll say, well, hey, aren't they poisoning my liver? You can have all the clinical studies you want on a beta blocker drug, but if you have common sense, you say, well, hey, isn't a beta blocker poisoning my heart? You know, common sense trumps medical trials or so-called clinical trials a lot of the times, if not most of the time. Don't marginalize your common sense. Don't marginalize your ability to understand things. That's what we tend to do, is we tend to think that our ability to understand things is somehow less valuable or less important or less relevant or less precise or insightful than something we get from a medical trial. Don't marginalize your common sense for a lot of these ideas. All right, let's do one more and then we'll get your calls. 844-236-6010. This is from the journal Frontiers in Molecular Neuroscience. Zinc deficiency linked to autism epidemic. Zinc deficiency could be one of the causes of the autism epidemic. Zinc is, as a lot of people know, not everybody, is very important for brain health. Dr. Abram Hoffer wrote a book called Orthomolecular Psychiatry back in the 1950s, where he talked about using zinc for schizophrenia. Carl Zimmer, who's written a lot about mineral deficiencies, he talked also about using zinc for mental health issues. Zinc is a powerful, powerful brain nutrient, and one of the reasons why it's stored in the brain, but one of the large amounts are stored in the brain. But one of the reasons why zinc is so important for brain health is because it's important for blood sugar. Zinc is one of the main building minerals because it helps the body process sugar. Zinc deficiency not only is behind the autism epidemic and maybe behind the autism epidemic, or maybe behind mental health issues, but zinc deficiency may also be behind our epidemic of diabetes. The more sugar you're eating, the more zinc you're burning through. The more stress you're under, the more zinc you're burning through, and zinc is also stored in the adrenal glands. Zinc is very important for the hormones, for reproduction. Zinc is very important for the digestive system, for producing, helping the body make hydrochloric acid. There's so many places where zinc works. Hundreds of different chemical reactions in the body depend on zinc, and zinc deficiency is incredibly common. There's also a very important relationship between zinc and copper. The more zinc you use, the more copper your body will excrete, which means if you're supplementing with zinc, you also want to supplement with copper. If you're getting excess zinc, that can cause a serious copper deficiency that can lead to anemia or bone weakening problems. 50 milligrams of zinc picolinate a day is a great place to be. Eat your mushrooms or organ meats or eggs. Those are all good sources of zinc. But personally, I'd be taking 50 milligrams of zinc picolinate. I do take 50 milligrams of zinc picolinate a day, especially if you have skin problems. Zinc is almost like a remedy. It isn't exactly, but pretty close to a remedy for acne, and you can certainly induce acne by either eating too much sugar, which will deplete your body of zinc, or just not getting enough zinc. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. We will take a commercial. Actually, let's see. I think I got a little bit here time. Talk to Kathy. Kathy, why don't you ask a question, and then we'll put you on hold because we got to take a commercial break here. Oh, there's our commercial break.
Hi.
Hi, Kathy. I didn't realize we had a commercial so quickly, but you want to ask a question real quick, and then we'll put you on hold.
Okay, I have some questions about thyroid supplementing.
Perfect. We'll talk thyroid. Hang on, Kathy. We'll talk about the thyroid when we come back. Okay? Don't go away. All right. We're back on the bright side. Pharmacist Ben here. 844-236-6010 is our number. It got lines open for you, and we are talking to Kathy about thyroid health. Hi, Kathy.
Hi.
What's going on?
I was recently told that I have a thyroid issue, and
join the crowd. There are millions and millions of people who have thyroid issues. In fact, if you have any chronic long-term health challenge, you got a thyroid issue, and it doesn't matter what the tests tell you. One of the stupidest, dumbest medical strategies is to assess thyroid health with thyroid tests. All you got to do is look at your fingernails, your skin, your bowel movements, your health challenges, and you'll know whether or not you have a thyroid problem. Go ahead. What were you going to ask me?
And I'm starting the elimination diet. I've been doing it for a few days. So I'm wondering what the best supporters through this elimination diet for my thyroid is to
say that again, the best supporters? Say that one more time.
Yep. I'm wondering what the best support is for the thyroid that I can use through the elimination diet.
I'm not really sure what your question is about the best support, but I'll tell you how to do the elimination diet if that's what you're asking. Is that what you mean?
Well, I'm just
what does best support mean?
I should, as far as nutrients.
What kind of nutrients to take for the thyroid?
Yes.
You don't want to look at it that way. That's a doctor way of looking at things. And even an alternative practitioner or a nutritionist who tells you to take these nutrients for your thyroid doesn't understand the body. I don't care if it's a chiropractor, a naturopath, alternative practitioner of any kind, or an MD. If they try to say, take this nutrient for your thyroid, they're biochemical boneheads. because the thyroid is attached to the other parts of the body, and it is responding with rare exceptions. You can be deficient in iodine, certainly, and you have, and have a thyroid, a goiter or something. But other than that, the thyroid, when you're hypothyroid, it is a response, an effect of something else that's going on in the body. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So don't pay any attention to books, doctors, chiropractors, naturopaths, anybody who says take this for your thyroid.
Okay.
Okay? The thyroid's responsive to the adrenal glands, it's responsive to estrogen and how you process female hormones, and it's responsive to things that are going on in terms of your digestive health. And you can throw in blood sugar issues there too. In other words, you've heard me talk about the triangle of disease. You have 3 points that underlie all health challenges. That's the digestive system, the blood sugar system, and the adrenal thyroid complex. The thyroid is the end stage. It's the tip of the triangle. And what happens with the thyroid, with some exceptions, as I say, if you're just got full-blown iodine deficiency maybe, with some exceptions, the thyroid is responding to what's happening in the adrenal glands, at the digestive system level, and the blood sugar system. And the digestive system level includes estrogen, the hormone estrogen. So first of all, if you're hypothyroid, you want to clear out any you want to eliminate autoimmune problems. Okay, that's one of the major reasons why we have hypothyroidism. It's called Hashimoto's disease. Is that what they told you had, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, so Hashimoto's is pretty much the major diagnosis that's associated with hypothyroidism, but you don't have to have autoimmunity to have a poorly functioning thyroid. But first things first, autoimmunity always needs to be regarded as a digestive problem. Sounds like you already know that. So what you do is you do the elimination diet. You stop eating for a couple of days if you can. If you can't, then don't, but it helps to stop eating for a couple of days. And then you eat as normal, and you write down everything that's going on with your body after you eat a food. And that is the trickiest thing to do when it comes to reversing chronic degenerative disease. I understand that.
Yeah.
It's the trickiest, absolutely. But there's some shortcuts you can take. One of the most important shortcuts is you start with the foods you love the most. Those are usually the culprits. Okay?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, that's how it is. I know it's a bummer, but
yeah, sad.
But that is how it is, and that's a shortcut you can take. So you can start eliminating the foods you love the most, or one at a time, perhaps, and then you're going to start to feel better. Now, once you figure out some foods to eliminate, and you're starting to feel better, you can start to support digestive health with things like probiotics. Bacteria in the gut activate thyroid hormone. They turn on thyroid hormone. By the way, another silly medical strategy for dealing with thyroid health is to give you Synthroid. Did they give you Synthroid?
Yeah.
All right, that's another silly medical. They didn't give you that. All right, that's another silly medical strategy because the problem isn't the hormone, it's the thyroid. You can't duplicate what the hormone's doing by taking a drug. That's a medical myth. So in any case, you work on the digestive system, eliminate problem foods, then you start strengthening the gut by using probiotics and fermented foods. Lots of veggie juices, digestive enzymes, apple cider vinegar. Anything you could do to support digestive health is going to be in your interest. You can also start to patch up the gut with things like bone broth protein, the fucoidan Z, algae, high uronic acid supplements. Go get our connective tissue repair complex or collagen repair complex from truthtreatments.com. Anything you can do to build, strengthen, enhance the resilience and the strength of the intestinal lining is going to be in your interest. Then you're going to need to stabilize your blood sugar. Okay, now, let me ask you a couple quick questions here. Any issues with the reproductive system, menstrual cycles, anything like that? Crampy, bloaty, heavy periods? What's that?
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Okay. Well, all of those involve estrogen, and that is one of the major reasons why the thyroid gets messed up. You can take all the darn iodine you want, and if you're not clearing estrogen properly, you're going to have a messed up thyroid if you're producing too much estrogen. Usually it has to do with clearance. So you're going to want to throw in bile salts, fiber, more fiber, grind up flaxseed fiber, do it every day. Constipation is the enemy of the thyroid and the cause of hypothyroid. It's a circle. It's both cause and effect of hypothyroidism. So what did you say about the fiber? Did you say grind up
grind up flaxseed fiber or flax seeds, okay? Mm-hmm. And grind them to a pulp, to a fiber. You got to grind them, and then do a teaspoon every day in water, maybe a couple teaspoons. You don't want to do too much all at once; you get crampy. But find a good sweet spot. Teaspoon. You could put a little cinnamon in there. It's delicious. Put it in water. It's super delicious. Do it every day.
Oh, wow.
Magnesium is also great because, excuse me, it helps you process estrogen, and it's a good laxative. So you might want to make sure you're taking magnesium as well. So you got to focus on the estrogen too. And then, of course, blood sugar is always going to be an issue, so you got to make sure you're keeping your blood sugar stable. Guess what? It's the triangle of disease. The digestive system, the blood sugar system, the adrenal system, which involves the reproductive hormones. And also, of course, calming the body down, relaxing the body, lowering your cortisol levels, deep breathing, slow deep breathing, SDR breathing. Anything you could do to relax the body. Cortisol is the enemy of the thyroid also, hypercortisol. Cortisol and estrogen are two of the major enemies of the thyroid. And between cortisol, estrogen, blood sugar, and poor digestive problems, you have the major reasons why we get hypothyroidism, whether you call it Hashimoto's or just plain old hypothyroidism. So doesn't matter what foods, what supplements you take for, I'm making little air quotes here, for the thyroid. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Oh, take this for the thyroid. That's nonsense. That's not how it works. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Good to talk to you,
And I have
Kat.
one other quick question.
Yes.
When I'm doing the elimination diet, I'm finding some foods take a while to have a reaction to, but some foods are instantaneous when I'm chewing them.
Those are allergic. That's an allergic reaction usually when it's instantaneous while you're chewing it. But obviously, what the heck are you eating those foods for, Kathy?
Yeah, well, they're my favorites.
I know. But then your body's talking to you. Your body.
Yeah, now that I fasted and restarted everything.
Did you notice that things were more profound? That symptoms? Did you notice symptoms were more dramatic when you fasted? After you fasted?
Oh, absolutely.
Isn't that amazing?
Tried mushrooms are my favorite. I love mushrooms. And as I was chewing them, I was getting nauseous, and I felt nauseous for hours.
And you'd been eating mushrooms every day. You've been eating mushrooms regularly before that, right?
Yeah, and I never felt that
Isn't that amazing?
reaction. I mean, it's a huge eye-opener. So it's been amazing other than having to go in and see a doctor and have them poke me every day or whatever they want to do for my thyroid.
Good for you. You're noticing your body. You're listening to your body. That's the most important thing you could do, Kathy, is listen to your body. Speak the language of the body. You're becoming smarter than your doctor. Doctors don't speak the language of the body. They speak the language of test scores and of numbers. You're listening to the body. That's really what it's about. That's what good health is about, is listening to the body. Disease state, unhealthy bodies are bodies that haven't been listened to. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You've been so helpful, and I've been listening to some of your archives, and I just wanted to make sure that I was on the right track here. So
you're definitely on the right track, 100%. Good to talk to you. I'm glad everything worked out. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, I'm going to try and get one more call in here. John in Monterey, California. What's going on? Good morning. We got. Hey. You know what, John? I hate to do this to you, but there's the music. I'm just out of time, buddy. All right, sorry about that, John. Call back tomorrow and we'll get you first up. Tell our call screener that we had to disconnect, unfortunately, abruptly. In any case, thanks for listening to The Bright Side, friends. Check out our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com for the longevity products, and truthtreatments.com for all our Truth Skin Health products. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.